Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Steven. Last week, I spoke about reasons why I buy CDs and why you should hold on to them, and so on and so forth. And you can compare with streaming. That's been done to death. What I want to do is a personal thing about it. Music for me has always been a tactile experience. It's an exchange between the artist and the listener. And as much as the music can touch you, the record, the CD can touch you as well. Now, the worst thing that record executives have done over the years have created the word replace. We had vinyl. They said, no, you don't need vinyl. Replace it with CDs. Now we don't need CDs. We need to stream or download. The replacement is one of the worst mistakes to ever been put into music and movies in general. Taking away that tactile, that experience is wrong. Going to a record store, flipping through the CDs, or going through the movie section as well. I'm talking about movies, music, physical media in general, is a tactile experience. You feel it here and you can hold it and you can touch it. It becomes a 360 experience from the visual to the touch and everything in between. And when you used to go to a record store or a movie shop, you go to the cover, be intrigued by it, and someone say, "Hey, have you seen this movie? This is really good. You should check it out." Because you had a whole bunch of people who were into it, into the movies, into the music, and you'd find the same group of people who are passionate about it and would push you into, not push you, but kind of suggest where to go and what to listen to next. So you would go to a store and pick up what you were originally looking for, but sometimes you came home with a surprise and something even better than you originally intended. I remember being going to a record store, and the guy introduced me to Van Halen, and I've been a fan ever since. The guy just said, "You got to listen to these guys," and I went. I don't even remember what I went in there for originally, and I just remember now because Van Halen became one of my favorite rock bands. But it's because the guy in the record store goes, "You got to listen to these guys. These guys are going to be huge," and I'm like, "Okay, why not?" You know, the guy at the cash. We knew each other for years and going back and forth, and you developed a relationship with these people and with the artists. So look at something like Iron Maiden, their last album. I mean, it's beautifully done. And it just adds to the experience as you're listening to the record to go all through this stuff that they took the time for their, I guess, their artistic expression of what this record was supposed to be about to give you a journey along with it that you can look. It's tangible, it's tactile. And that's what's missing in today's world with that. And like going to a record store or a music shop or movie store. There used to be this places strictly for movies too. That interaction between the staff that were into it and you as a fan were into it, or even just people walking into the store with you, there was a community. And online you can find what you're originally looking for. But when you went to the store, sometimes you came out with something you weren't expecting, and it was something that even was better than you thought. And I think that's what bothers me the most is that interaction. It's become a very, I'm not going to say lonely, but very individualistic experience now. I look for my stuff online. I go to Amazon or whatever, and you look through your things and you say, okay, I want this, I want that, I want that. As before, I used to walk to a store, I even used to go with my colleagues from work, and we used to hang out and talk about things, and then go have a coffee or a drink and discuss what we bought and show each other and exchange it. That I think that's what's missing, and I think because of that word replacement was the worst thing they ever did into the physical media. It's like we need to replace this with that, and now they've replaced it with something that's made it, I think, very cold and very unfriendly, and it's taken away a little bit of the joy for me, and I think it has taken the joy from a lot of people, and I think it has to be brought back. So I hope one day, I know streaming will take over, and I think people will stop the physical media. Like vinyl. Vinyl died, and then it came back with a vengeance in a way, right? People are like still talking about it, and want to buy it. It's back in the record shops. When people said no one's going to buy vinyl anymore, I think that's what's going to happen. I think things will disappear, and someone's going to say, "Hey, man, what happened to the Blu-rays? What happened to the CDs? What happened to vinyl?" And so I say, and people will say, "Oh my God, let's rebuild this," and it's going to start over again. And I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. And don't get me wrong, I think stuff like Spotify and are very, very convenient. And I use it to look for stuff. But it shouldn't replace that special feeling, that tactical feeling of holding it, feeling it, being part of the artistic statement from the artist. And they do get paid a little bit more. And I know people are talking about, again, rich rock stars, but not every band is a rich rock star. What happens if it's their first album? They don't have that. They're not U2 or Iron Maiden or Kiss or whatever that have been around for 50 years and made money off it. If you're new, you don't have that same, you're not in the same position. So I think we need to remember that not every single artist is a multi-millionaire. Some of them are just starting out, and this is the way they make money. This is how they survive. So we got to remember that. It was an exchange. And, I gave you some of my money. You gave me something that I can listen to or watch and be touched and moved. So forget about, the streaming sound better than, your CD or your Blu-ray. The bottom line, it was an exchange. And that's what's missing today for me. And I hope that we get it back one day. I hope we get rid of the lawyers and accountants who have taken over the movie business and taken over the music business and put it back. Years ago, music and movies were run by people who loved it, who were passionate about it, and gave us quality material. Now that a lot of times we're getting subpar because a lawyer is telling me what a good song is. Stick to being a lawyer. I want to decide. You know what I mean? So that's me. My thoughts about it. You let me know what you think. Post your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll do my very, very best to respond if I can. So this is Steven. Hit the like button, please. And subscribe would mean the world to me. From the Aroundtable with my extra thoughts on CDs and the physical media and Blu-rays and all that stuff. Hopefully this will change your mind. Hopefully you can pass this along. Hopefully this will provide value to someone, okay? And I'll see you soon, guys.